5 sliding compound miter saws, 5 very different approaches to accuracy, capacity, and workspace. Stay to the end because the top 2 separate themselves in ways that matter once you actually start making cuts. Starting at number 5 is the Skil. And I want to make one thing clear. Being 5th here does not make it a bad saw. In fact, for someone who wants plenty of capability without moving up to a heavier 12-inch machine, this one makes a lot of sense. The feature I like most is the LED shadow line. Instead of relying on a laser that needs careful alignment, you see the actual blade width shadow on the material. That makes lining up cuts simple. You also get dual bevel operation, a 50-degree miter range in both directions, and enough capacity to cross-cut 2x12 lumber. But this is still a 10-inch saw, and that becomes noticeable next to the bigger models. Its vertical baseboard capacity is 4.5 inches, and the traditional sliding rails also need room behind the saw. So if maximum cutting capacity is your priority, the models higher in the ranking give you more. For DIY work, remodeling, and anyone who wants a practical saw with a very useful cut line system, the Skil is easy to understand. But if you regularly work with larger trim or wider material, the next saw steps up to a full 12-inch platform. Links to all the products from this review at the best available price are in the description below the video. At number 4 is the DeWalt, and this is where cutting capacity becomes much more serious. With a 12-inch blade and the ability to handle up to 2x14 material at 90 degrees, it gives you noticeably more room to work than the Skil. It can also handle 7.5-inch nested crown molding and 6.75-inch vertical baseboard. The 60-degree right miter range is useful for more demanding angle work, and the 10-position miter plate makes common settings quick to find. Its conventional rail system is solid and familiar. But there are 2 things you should know. There is no built-in laser or LED shadow guide, which feels basic compared with the Skil. And the long rear rails need more bench space. The model has also been discontinued, and some production dates were included in a safety recall, so used buyers should check the specific saw carefully. If you mainly care about raw cutting capacity and want a straightforward 12-inch machine, the DeWalt is still appealing. But the next model keeps that large blade capability while using a much more space-efficient sliding design. And if this comparison is helping you, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 3 goes to the Metabo HPT. What immediately makes this saw interesting is the fixed rail slide system. Instead of long rails moving out behind the saw, the design keeps the footprint much tighter. You still get a 12-inch blade, strong vertical capacity, dual bevel, and an adjustable laser marker. It can cross-cut up to 12.25 inches at 90 degrees, and at 59 pounds it is lighter than the Bosch and Makita. There is also a 5-year warranty, which is a nice advantage. The limitation is its range of motion. You get 45 degrees of miter to the left and 57 to the right, plus 45 degrees of bevel in both directions. That is enough for normal work, but the DeWalt, Bosch, and especially the Makita give you more flexibility at extreme angles. And if your workshop is tight against a wall and you still want a full-size 12-inch saw, this is probably the most interesting balance so far. But the next model takes the compact slide idea and pushes it further with a very different mechanism. At number 2 is the Bosch, and the main reason it ranks this high is the axial glide system. Instead of normal sliding rails, the saw moves on an articulated arm, so the action feels controlled while saving a lot of space behind the machine. Bosch says the system can save up to 10 inches of front-to-back workspace compared with conventional sliding designs. You also get a wide 60-degree right miter range, 47-degree bevel in both directions, and front-mounted bevel controls. For a stationary workshop setup, those details make daily adjustments much easier. The compromise is capacity. This is a 10-inch saw, so even though its 12-inch cross-cut ability is respectable, it cannot match the larger vertical and crown capacities of the top 12-inch models. At 64 pounds, it is also surprisingly heavy for a 10-inch machine, and there is no built-in cut line guide. If precision, smooth movement, and a compact workshop footprint matter more to you than having the biggest possible blade, the Bosch is a very strong choice. But for the number one position, there is one saw that combines a space-saving design with even greater cutting capacity. And number one is the Makita. For me, the reason is simple. It covers almost every major requirement at once. You get a 12-inch blade, huge cutting capacity, wide angle adjustment, and a sliding system designed to work close to a wall. The 15-inch cross-cut capacity is the largest in this group. It can also handle 8-inch nested crown molding and 6 3/4-inch vertical baseboard. The miter range reaches 60 degrees in both directions. The bevel reaches 48 degrees on both sides, and the front bevel lock makes adjustments easier. The direct drive motor also avoids a belt between the motor and blade. Of course, there is a price for all that capability and physical size. At 65 pounds, this is the heaviest saw here. And while the built-in laser is useful, I still prefer the clear blade width reference you get from a good shadow line system like the one on the Skil. But if you want one saw for large trim, wide boards, compound angles, and serious workshop use, the Makita has the broadest overall capability in this comparison. That combination of capacity, adjustment range, and compact rear footprint is what puts it at number one. If one of these top-ranked saws fits the way you work, check the links in the description below the video to see the current options and pricing. And if this review helped you choose, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more practical product comparisons.